I found that too many companies do home office and only focus on saving rent, but ignore the real cost reduction logic of compliance. Either a large sum of money was left off by employer-labor arbitration, or it seemed to save the actual labor cost of rent. I didn't make any money at all, but I got into trouble, so I contacted a boss to find a home. The terms of working from home are not clearly written in the employee's labor contract, and as a result, when the employer leaves, he or she takes the initiative to work from home. Overtime every day requires hundreds of thousands of overtime pay, and in the end, the boss can only lose money because there is no provision in the contract, and there is a boss for. Find a third party to give to non-local employees before provincial Social Security. The results of paying Social Security on behalf of the employee were reported by the employee and fined. Today, I will tell you how to operate in compliance with home office. How can it be true to avoid 90% of labor disputes? To achieve cost reduction is not only to save rent, but also to reduce operating costs with authority and truly realize asset-light operation. First of all, let's talk about the 4 compliance pitfalls that are most likely to be stepped on by compliant home office and the corresponding avoidance methods. Make sure to tie the first big hole in your wallet. The contract does not stipulate the terms of home office, and there are disputes, and many companies recruit home office. Home employees still use ordinary labor activities to directly write job wages, work locations, time, and delivery standard assessments. I'm afraid that if I don't write anything, the problem will not be clear when the phone comes out, such as employees. It is advocated that overtime work at home should be assigned to employees, and there are contracts in industry and commerce at home except for accidents. The agreement can't afford to say that there is a high probability of losing money. Circumvention method. A special agreement on working from home must be added to the labor contract, which clarifies 4 core provisions. First, the work location is clearly written to prevent home office, and the office address is to prevent self-provision of home office space, and the second working time is clear. Standard irregular hours, such as the standard working hours, are from 9 o'clock to 18 o'clock, with an hour break in between, and the core work must be there. Third, the delivery standard and the assessment party clarify the acceptance standards of the post to achieve results. Instead of taking the new exam, the 4th office equipment and network clarify whether the salary is provided or the employee himself. 80% of labor exchange can be avoided, and the second big pit is that the salary structure is unreasonable. Either a fixed salary supporter or a random deduction of wages. Yo-Yo television series exclusive. There is no way to deduct wages, and as soon as they are deducted, they are made by heavy wealth and enterprises. Performance appraisal employees did not meet the results of the marking of the Rotten Buckle Core. As a result, it was approved by employee arbitration, not to mention the money, which also affected the company's reputation. The avoidance method adjusts the salary structure to basic salary, salary efficiency, improvement, and bonus. 40% to 50% of the infrastructure is not lower than the local minimum standard. It is clear that in labor activities, the performance appraisal system is reasonable and legal. Its improvement and efficiency are directly linked to motivate employees to work more, and the performance system can enable employees sign and confirm to avoid subsequent disputes. And the third big poverty is the Social Security representative of the employee in a place. Illegal is also easy to step on the pit, and many companies recruit employees from other places to stay from home. If you are troubled to open a Social Security account, find a third-party organization to pay Social Security to employees. As long as the employer has a labor relationship in law enforcement, it can be given. The third party said it was not just to be supplemented. If you don't find Social Security, you will have to pay a fine. All responsibilities must be borne by the company in the avoidance method. There are 3 ways to comply. The first is, it is the most reasonable for all home employees in the place of registration of the company to pay the Social Security value uniformly. And the second is if the employee is required to pay at the venue. Then you can find a regular human resources company for labor dispatch. Third, it is opened by a registered branch in a city with more employees. Open a Social Security account to pay Social Security to local employees. These 3 methods are compliant, and never find a third party to pay on your behalf. Fourth, Daking Industry and Commerce determined that there was no agreement on wages, and employees had accidents at home, and many bosses did not know the reason. During working hours, accidents in the work area due to work reasons are also considered factories, such as employees working from home. Where to go to work materials fall and count as work-related injuries, employees work overtime at home. If there is no agreement in advance on such a thing, the company will bear all industrial and commercial compensation. Avoidance method. First, clearly stipulate the working hours and working areas of home office in the labour contract and home office system, such as working hours from 9 o'clock to 18 o'clock. The work area is a fixed office area for employees at home, as long as it is only within the workspace during business hours. Because of the accident at work, it will be considered the second time the tooling. Buying a commercial accident insurance for employees is only 1 or 200 yuan a year, which can be covered in case of an accident. Some of the compensation investigations account for the risk of the company. After talking about compliance, let's talk about how to really reduce costs and work from home, not just save rent. 23 dimensions really reduce the cost of the first dimension. This is the most intuitive thing to do, is to directly reduce fixed costs. Open home office. No need to rent a large office. No need to buy a large amount of office equipment. Pay high water and electricity business expenses. You can save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and you can invest in it. In terms of R&D market expansion, I don't want to optimize labor costs in the second month, not to reduce wages, but to improve cost effectiveness and work from home. Please don't hesitate to subscribe to retweet tips support Spiegel and Jianjin columns. As long as 7,000 people with the same ability can recruit outstanding talents from all over the country, it is more cost-effective and uses results at the same time. As a result, I don't want to think that people are good at work, and the labor cost of elimination is completely controllable, and there will be no situation where people are recruited and have no work to do. Operational efficiency is improved. Indirect cost reduction, such as working from home, flexible scheduling. Customer service can cover longer service time improvements. Customer transit rate. Employees don't have to commute, and they can get an extra hour or two of effective time per day. Being able to do more is equivalent to reducing costs in disguise. To give you 2 pitfalls, remind first, don't change real employees to part-time or sole employees just for the sake of this. On the contrary, it will lead to employee turnover or adversity, and the gains are not worth the losses. Second, don't have too many rules and regulations for the sake of compliant vehicle quality. Without the flexibility of working from home, you need to balance compliance. Flexibility can bring out the greatest value of working from home. In fact, working from home has never been simple plus a complete set of hard work. I only have compliance as the foundation. Only by using the logic of cost reduction can we truly achieve it, and truly help you achieve cost